What is going on, everyone? Thanks so much for joining the channel again. Haven't shot a video in a couple days. I've been sick, still trying to get over it, but I did want to keep my word. Said I would do a 1 week follow-up to Titano. So here it is. I wanted to kind of show you guys where we started a week ago, where we are now. I have researched Deos in this project quite a bit in the last week. I feel like I understand them to a lot more detail, and did see a lot of rug pulls out there while researching these Deos and high APY projects. So it's a high risk, high reward kind of thing. So real quick, not a financial advisor. Everything that we cover, especially today, is just for entertainment. So yeah, let's get into it. Titano, for those of you that remember, I made a very small investment, just $150. Just wanted to get my hands dirty. I mean, I think sometimes the only way to really understand some of these projects is to actually invest in them and get your hands dirty and really get into the detail of it. So that's what I did. So I think we can start. So, and real quick, I'm not going to go into the whole detail of what Titano is. Just watch my other video. I've only done about 20 videos, so it'd be easy to find. But what's cool about Titano? Well, let's talk about the good first. It's the highest fixed APY out there, 102+%, and it's automatic staking, which is really cool. You don't have to, copy and paste and stake and do this and do that and move funds around. It just does it all for you, which is really cool. Reduces the barrier to entry. And with any project, anything that they can do to reduce barrier to entry is always a good thing. So those are the good things. What are the bad things? Why haven't I invested more, even though I'm thinking about maybe investing more at some point? We'll go into the whole game theory of it, because I do think that this project has a lot of game theory. I haven't invested more because it's gone up so much in a short amount of time. So I feel like it's probably right for some retracement. And it's not doxed. Project is not doxed. The guy, one of their main guys, even did an AMA that I watched. He did it without showing his face or giving his real name. So again, those are red flags. And their white paper has some weird stuff on it. At one point in the white paper, it talks about how they can make the sale price 100% at any point. That's a little scary. So that's why I haven't. So those are some of the red flags. So this is not this is a high risk, high reward for sure. So just real quick, where do we start off at a week ago? Because I want you guys to see how much things can change in just 1 week. Okay. I started off with 1,266 tokens, 0.76. Actually, I'd already gone through one rebase when I took this snapshot. So it was actually like 1266.26. And my rebase now, so back then my next rebase, which compounds every 30 minutes, was 0.501 tokens. It's substantially higher now, as I'm going to show. And of course, the reward yield didn't change; it's still the same. And if you don't want to, if you have Titano and you don't want to have to go into the dashboard to figure out your next rebase, real easy. You just multiply your tokens times this 0.03958%, and that'll tell you your next rebase. So pretty simple stuff there. And so real quick, let's get into where we are now. So Titano's had a pretty rough day. Let's reload it. Okay, so it's at 1735. So let's go into the spreadsheet. 1735. So let's change this thing out. All right, and I have, let's see how many tokens I have. I haven't checked. I should have had this memorized before the video. My bad. Okay, so I'm at 1447.46. 1447. So that's about 7 point. Yeah, so that would put us here about 181.6. Whoops. All right, so that puts us, there we go, 1448. Kind of round it up a little bit. All right, so as you can see, my next rebase is now 0.57296 tokens, considerably higher, right, than what it was a week ago. From a percentage basis, I mean, that's getting really close to 20%. So that's a big deal right there. So every 30 minutes, it's only been a week, I'm already getting really close to 20% more token every 30 minutes. So that's a very big deal. The other thing that really stands out here is that my percentage of rebase tokens off the total is now 12.5%. In just 1 week, guys. In just 1 week. And then if we compare it to our rebase, we compare it to the initial, right? So I just did a quick formula here, just, D2, C2, 14.3% is the percentage versus the initial amount of tokens. So my Rebase tokens are just growing, and it's just exponential, compounding. And it's going to be really interesting to see. I mean, I could do the math if I wanted to, where it's going to be in a month. But it is kind of fun to just kind of see how quickly this changes in a week. And, I could do formulas to see where we should be in about a week. But then again, we kind of have to guess what the price is. But so yes, right now my total investment is up about $101. So that's about 67% profit. But the important thing that I was going to cover here is that I don't think that this really matters that much, what the investment is right now, because I'm not looking to sell anytime soon. I think what really matters is their volume, because that's how they're making their money. And if you look at the volume, it's been pretty solid for all week. Here we are at 3.2. So keep in mind, they're making 13% of each sell, 18% of each buy. So basically they're getting, 13 plus 18, 31 divided by 2, 15.5. So they're getting 15.5% of this number, whatever the trading volume is, every day. So what's that, like 490,000-ish so far today? And they've been doing that consistently for, I think, every day ever since I've been watching it. They had some days where I think it hit even 5 million in volume. So I think that's what really matters. So for someone like me that's not looking to sell anytime soon, we just want this project to stay alive so that I can, get the high amounts of tokens consistently. And as long as that happens, we're good. So I think what's bad for this project is someone just hodls. I think what's good for this project is if people are active with it. They're buying, they're selling, they think it's going to go down. But it's going to be really hard to do that profitably, I think, because, with the 13% and the 8 for the buy, the 18% for the sell, and it's actually more. I've already talked to several people that sold. I guess Pancake Swap is adding their little cut to it. So about 22% seems to be what you have to set your number at when you sell. So it's not 18%, it's 22%, which is which you have to add into the math. So 22 plus 13, that's 35%. So for you to be able to trade this and not just hodl, that means that you think it's going to fall at least 40% to give you 5% return on that. But you're helping the project out. So that's really tough to do. I mean, I guess if it goes on a huge run, then you could expect a huge retracement, which is very possible. But that seems really hard to do. So I just worry about this project long term because of that, because of the fact that the most profitable play I think to do is just, unless if you can really get good at picking bottoms and tops with this, is just to hodl. And if you just hodl, you're kind of hurting the project because they're only going to get that one sale from you, and that when you buy, and then that one and fees again when you sell. Now, granted, they're going to get a high percentage, 18% of your tokens when you sell, but they've given you so many tokens that I just wonder if it's good enough for the project. So people that go in and out of it and kind of day trade it, they're probably the best for the project. That's really what the project needs. It needs obviously new holders and new investors, but they also need activity. So I'm just really curious to see how that's gonna translate over time. Excuse me. I'm also really curious as to like what the break even is. So the risk-free value on the daily has to be more than what they disperse in tokens to the holders, right? And if on any given day there wasn't enough volume right here for the risk-free value to be able to give out the Rebase tokens to the holders, then they have to get the money from the treasury, and that happens enough times. Well, then the treasury's in trouble, and then the project's in trouble. So I'm just really curious as to like what is kind of like the break-even point for them. Is what as far as volume goes. I mean, I just have so many questions. There's so much about this that I honestly still don't understand, even though I feel like I've done a lot of research on it. But I am tempted to invest some more into this project. I really am. And kind of, but on more of a shorter term basis, because of the fact that I really do like this huge compounding interest. I mean, you guys saw what it's doing when I showed you the spreadsheet. But it's just run up so high. I mean, it was at just 4 cents not that long ago, 2 weeks ago. And here we are at 17.54 cents. It got up as high as I think 21 the other day. So that's pretty good. So yeah, I mean, this thing could still go way, way down. I mean, when an asset basically does what, a 5x like that so quickly, you know, I mean, it could, I mean, this was its previous high point right here at 9 cents. I mean, it wouldn't be crazy if it went down to 9 cents. But the holder number keeps growing. The followers on Twitter keep growing. If you look at YouTube and you put, you know, Titano crypto, you're going to see a lot more videos on it. So it's definitely catching a lot of buzz. So I don't know if we're going to get that dip anytime soon. It will be very interesting. But if it dips down again to like 9, I am very tempted to add to my holdings. But once I'm in profit from those holdings, maybe take out that investment and then just the Rebase tokens that I get from adding holdings, keeping those in to reduce the time that I need to make the kind of money that we talked about in the first video that you can make in 1 year off just $150. I mean, it was like 200K. But if you can make some moves after dips, you can really cut down on that time, right? So that's what I think I'm going to do. I'm going to watch this very closely. And if it dips hard and it seems to be holding, I'm going to add more and do that as more of a short-term play. Once I'm up, sell those at profit, but keep the Rebase tokens that I generated from having more tokens in there and kind of grow my holding that way. So I think that there's going to be a lot of different ways to play this. And I'm already losing my voice, so I think this is probably a great time to end the video. So let me know in the comments if any of this makes sense as far as the strategy of it. Do you guys see something that I'm not seeing with what is kind of like the optimal strategy with this kind of project? And do you guys buy it? Do you think it's still going to be around in 6 months? Do you guys still think it's going to be around in a year? I'm 50-50. I have no freaking idea. So I would really be curious to see what you guys say. I'm hoping that a few of you that dealt with Deos before can add some value in the comments. And yeah, let's just keep an eye on it. So I don't know, I'll do a follow-up video for Titano in say a month. I think that would be pretty interesting. And I'll talk to you guys later. Take care.